All right, guys. So for today's episode, we're going to have the one and only Jason Orban from Think Big Marketing. That's the name of his agency, even if his actual website is thinkbigstudios.ca, right?
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Brother, well, first of all, super excited to have you with us on the podcast. For the people listening, we're going to be discussing primarily a little bit on local business marketing, a little bit of networking, and some super interesting automations that the man over here has built on GoHigh level. Yeah, brother, without further ado, please go ahead and introduce yourself. And from there, we'll keep rock and rolling, my man.
Hey guys, my name is Jason Orban. I have been doing marketing in all its various forms for many years, since probably about 2005. I've had a couple of different agencies where we've built websites and done all that kind of fun marketing and done stuff for the entertainment industry. And now for the last 10 years, I would say we really focus on local marketing and local businesses and helping those companies grow. So pre-COVID, just really quickly, we got really big into the fitness space. COVID kind of came along and messed things up for quite a few people, and those studios, because they were all group fitness, had to shut down. So we totally in the last 2 years had to completely pivot and go in a new direction. So we really just went back to our roots and said, hey, how do we help more local businesses like we used to, rather than relying on just the internet to get out there and find customers? We said, how do we help the people who are around us? And that's kind of where we're at now. So we work with local businesses, we help them build their brand, their marketing, and then we help them with simple stuff like reviews and Google and Facebook and social media advertising and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, even if it's simple things, those are the things that ultimately matter, right? Because for local businesses, typically, what happens is that any possible consumer or any possible client for these local businesses is going to search for best Italian restaurant near me, and of course, Google reviews and having that. It's pretty much. I mean, having a Google My Business is pretty much like a social media profile at the end of the day for your business, right? So,
Yeah.
it's super important that you actually focus on that, right? Cool, brother. I wanted to, first of all, because for the people listening here, I actually met Jason. I guess that it was like 2 weeks ago, right, brother, when we
Yeah.
connected, first of all. And one of the things that made me be more excited for this call more than some of the other ones is actually the fact that he gives a very really big emphasis to networking, and I think that that's something that nowadays it's pretty much neglected, right? Mostly because people are now focused really a lot into this direct response marketing approach, or how much money I can make using this ad, or what is my campaign telling, booking calls with or not, etc. And ultimately what matters is actually, and I mean that's what I want you to talk about, is like the importance of actually leveraging a little bit your the people you actually do know, right? So yeah, man, I wanted to hear your thoughts on some networking tips, maybe a little bit on different ways to network with others, etc. Pretty much talk about what you know about it.
So, you know what they always say is like your I think Grant Cardone says this a lot, is your network is your net worth.
Yeah,
Is the more people that you know, the more people you can get in front of, the more people you can talk to, is going to be your net worth. You can make more money, right? Because
yes.
you can help more people and no more people know about you. There's a great quote that I heard a long time ago. This isn't exactly about networking, but it's about um just your business in general. If you're the best kept secret in your hometown or whatever, then you're probably the worst at marketing, right? You're not you're
Yeah,
If you're the best kept secret, you know, there's restaurants that you find and they're like, that's the best kept secret. It's like, you know, the ones who get out there the most and most people know them, um those are the ones who succeed. And you know, from our past, my wife was a hairstylist for 20 years, and we owned a few different hair salons. And some of the best stuff that we could have done to help grow that business and get out there is just get more involved in the community. So meeting other business owners, definitely going out to any kind of business nights, handing out business cards, talking to people. I've had really good results with joining small little business referral groups. There's some bigger ones out there like BNI and maybe like Chamber of Commerce and stuff like that.
yeah,
Chamber of Commerce doesn't really do like the referral things, but some of the other ones, they thrive on referrals, right? So you meet up once a week and you meet up with maybe 10 other business owners, and if they know of anybody who needs help or whatever, they send them your way.
Yeah.
Those are really good ways to network. Also, just getting out into the community and going to different business functions where there are people, right? And then following up with people and just making sure you stay in contact. It's definitely not just COVID, but this whole internet lifestyle that we have has kind of made us a little bit shy to get out there and talk to people face to face again. But it really people love that human connection, you know. So for example, I chatted with another guy who's done a lot of sales and marketing, and one of the things he's had such a huge success with was doing a little Facebook video and walking into a business and saying, hey, it's Bob here, your local marketing guy, you know, we're just coming in to check out this business. And then you go and you meet the owner, you meet the staff. You can bring them a little tray of treats or something like that to say, hey, I'm new here, I'd like to meet you. And then you have a new connection that you can reach out to, or, you know, if they're thinking about, hey, we need to update our marketing, we need to update our media, we need to do other stuff, they've got you in mind, right? It's one thing with a lot of these business owners, they're head down and focused on what they're good at. They might not be good at marketing, and they might know that they need some of this stuff, but they don't know who to go to. So if you can network with them and reach out to them and talk to them, you can make their life a whole lot easier.
Man, that's incredible. And I love the fact that you give a really big emphasis on the importance of being, let's say, unique. I know that that sounds a little bit cringy to say, but actually the fact that, for example, this guy that you mentioned that just goes to a local business and start recording a video over there,
yeah.
I mean, let's say that one person listening to this actually does that to 3 businesses every single day.
Right.
That guy is going to make a shit ton of money, number one, and that guy is going to be known super well in his local city, like in his town, right? And if you think about it, that's way more valuable and way more. I mean, it's intrinsically fundamental as a business owner to actually be known by the people that you are actually going to be able to work with later down the road. Mostly during to local marketing, right? So yeah, brother, I love it. I love it, man. I would love to keep talking about this topic because I super interesting.
Yeah,
but
sure. I'm cool. We can talk
timing,
about whatever.
Yeah, no, but for timing reasons, I also, because we have another big topic that we want to cover. I also wanted to ask you, man, like, I know that you built an automation for local businesses. I mean, for marketing agencies that work with local businesses, right? Can you let us know a little bit more about what it is, who is it for specifically, etc., right?
So one of the components of our big pivot that we had to do at the start of 2020, I guess it was middle of 2020 kind of thing. We literally on March 14th, 2020, we shut off every invoice that we had going out for our clients. So our revenue went to zero. It just went to zero that month. So we had to like completely change. And one of the things that we wanted to do was say, let's not have this ever happen again. So we got into more of a reseller kind of SaaS kind of mindset with stuff. Is like, what can we build? What can we develop? What can we use around us to provide value to everyone else, but still make some money while we do it, right? So some of the stuff we got into is we were doing reviews for customers before, and we were using another white label software, and then I found GoHigh Level, and I jumped into that, and I was like, this thing is really cool. But one of the things it doesn't have a review system as the same level as some of these other stuff, like let's just say like Grab Your Reviews or Grade Us, or there's a bunch of them out there that will help you get Google reviews. So we spent probably a month developing this thing, and then put it out to the community and said, hey, what do you guys think? And everyone's like, there's like tons of people who jumped on board. And then everybody started coming like, okay, well, because we're using Grade Us and we're using this other one and we're using this one. So everybody pooled their ideas, and we ended up building this whole automation follow-up system and everything to get reviews. And what's great about it is, for a new agency who's starting out, it's an awesome foot in the door. Even if you're not charging for them, or you're just charging it really cheaply, like, hey, we'll help you automate this entire review system. It really only takes, after it's set up, it takes you like maybe 5 minutes of work a month to actually get this thing going. And then they can automatically get reviews for their business as customers who are coming in. But we took it one step further and we said, hey, what happens after you get that review from a customer, right? So you have a customer comes in, they have a great experience. You send them out a text and an email asking them how their experience was. And they give you a review for that. Then we said, okay, well, what happens next? And we're like, well, let's ask them for referrals, right? So now this whole system asks them for reviews, then it takes them into a whole referral campaign where they can share on social media. They can reach out to friends that they already have. And then they can collect points and everything for what they're doing.
Man.
So it's a bit of a loyalty program as well, but great way to go into a business and say, hey, we've got this system, we want to help you get more reviews. And I know people who just offer it for free as a foot in the door. Some people offer it for 99 bucks a month, or some people charge 250 a month, and it really depends on how you want to position yourself. But again, just a great system. So off of that, I'll just keep talking really quick, and then we've built a bunch of other agency automations for other agencies who are out there in the same space. They want to grow, they want to work locally, they want to automate as much of their business as they can so they can get their time back. So we took our review and referral system and we built a bunch of other things to go with it, and that one is called we call Power Tools, which really helps you out with high level as well.
Man, that's incredible, brother. And just out of curiosity, because even for myself, I found it super interesting. Is this mostly for marketing agencies that are on the, let's say, local niche or in the local industry? Because I mean, I'll give you an example, because not only for me, but for some of my clients, that because I also work with marketing agencies.
Yeah.
They might be, for example, into e-commerce. So they may have their business, I don't know, in China, and their clients are in Europe. Some of them are in the USA, right? Some in Canada. But is this set of tools that you're mentioning mostly for local agencies, or
it really it only depends on where you want to send them for reviews. So we built a system we were originally focusing on Facebook, Google, and Yelp for those three sites, but we also made it now so that you can put any review sites you want in there. So if there's if there's a review site, I don't know exactly, I'm not going to say I exactly know how like Amazon works or anything like that to get reviews, because I know they don't like you soliciting reviews from people. But if there's any way that you can do it through e-commerce and you have a site to send them to, so that after they give you a review, you can give them a link, it would work for anything, really.
Got you. Man, that's incredible. That's incredible. And is there a landing page or anything that people can go visit where they have all of these different tools? Or
yeah, you can go to probably the easiest one to go to, which kind of outlines a whole collection of what we have, is ghlpowertools.com. That's going to give you links to all the different things that we have for high level right now, and then it also links to their review system and referral system and stuff as well.
Awesome, brother. At the end of the podcast, I would love it to just send me the link so that I can share it on the description of the actual podcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And brother, one thing that I always like to ask the people that come to the podcast is, and I know that this is kind of personal and everything, but who cares? I always like to ask, what is something that you would like to tell the world? It can be business related, or it can be family related. It could be faith related. It doesn't really matter. I always like to, because of course the main topic of the podcast is marketing, entrepreneurship, money mindset, SaaS, etc. But I also like to actually showcase a little bit of the guest's worldview to the audience. So of course, without revealing too much or something that you would not be comfortable talking about, I don't know if there's anything that you would like to share to the people listening, right?
Sure. So here's something that I was talking about actually with my son. So he's 8 years old, and it was just Halloween. So we went to a haunted house, but he was like terrified to go into this haunted house. And we got in there, but he could hear like shrieking and screaming and stuff from the actors inside, and he would not go in. He like literally came in with me, and then he bolted for the door and was like jamming on the door trying to get out. So I ended up calming him down, and we went through. But he just like hid the entire time. So that night he was like, Dad, like, why do people get scared? Like, what is fear? Why do they get scared?
Yeah.
And so the biggest thing with fear, and this applies to everything, I think, is we're scared of the unknown, right? We're scared of what we don't know. And when we're venturing into this whole like starting your own business, marketing, agency stuff, going out and talking to business owners, networking, that kind of stuff, there's a ton of fear that comes with that, because we've got imposter syndrome, and we got all different other kinds of things that want to hold us back and just keep us safe.
Yeah.
But it really just comes down to the fear of the unknown, what we don't know, or how things are going to turn out. We don't have necessarily control over it. But here's what I told them was, the easiest way to get over fear is just by going out and doing it, right? Going out there, putting yourself out of your comfort zone, and actually going to do the thing. And whether that's walking into a business and asking for the owner, handing out your business card, sending those emails out or sending out an email to a list or Facebook messages or whatever. It's all about getting over that fear. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, and the more you get out of your comfort zone, and the more you grow. And so we went out trick-or-treating. His sister went out with a group of friends, and he was with us. And it was the first time he'd ever gone up to a house on his own for trick-or-treating to ask like for candy, like whatever, right? So we got there, he walked up, he turned around and came back, and it was like, how come you didn't go? He's like, I'm scared. And I'm like, well, what did we talk about last night? And he goes like, oh yeah. And then he just ran up to the door and went trick or treat. And then I'm like, hey, look how easy that was, right?
The whole cannon of candies.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just one good thing just to remember, is that our minds want to keep us safe, but I mean, we're not being chased by saber-tooth tigers anymore through or anything like that. So a lot of the stuff that we fear is just really small little mindset things, and if
Awesome.
you just if you go to do it, usually you can get through it really easy.
Awesome, brother. I love it. And I think that everybody that is listening to this podcast that has done anything for starting their business, because of course there's a little bit of people that might just have the idea but have never done anything really. Anybody that has actually done anything for their business is going to resonate with this a lot, right? Because anything from the moment when you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, that you want to do anything business related, the simple fact of you telling that to your parents, for example, or that to your friends or to your brother, sister, whatever, that by itself is a little bit uncomfortable, because people are going to think like, okay, but who are you? Like, who do you think you are in order to become an entrepreneur, etc., right? But anywhere from that moment all the way to when you are saying like, okay, I need to start hiring. How do I know how to actually hire the right person? In all of the journey, you're going to be struggling with certain things that, again, I do believe the same thing as you, that is basically fear of the unknown, what's maybe limiting you on actually taking action towards the set thing that you were going to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, I see that you have, is that book that you have over there next to the red thing, Ray Dalio's Principles?
Yeah, I've got yeah, it is Principles.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because something that we started doing, well, I'll actually start doing it on today's episode only, is I'll start asking the guests outside of just what they believe or they want to share, one piece of content, maybe a book, maybe a show, maybe a movie, whatever that they would like to recommend the audience. So, and I'm asking mostly because I'm really just reading that book right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, man.
I haven't actually read that book yet. I have it up there because it was a good one to read. Well, here's what I started reading. Here I've got Alex Hormozy's $100 million offers. Yeah, that's a really good one. Here's another good one too, and this one's called Spin Selling. So that's another good one as well. So this is actually this spin selling field book, and it's kind of like a course, and you go through it, and it kind of gets you in touch with who the customer is, what they want, how to ask questions, how to go through, like if you sit down with the customer and actually say, actually talk to them about their business rather than just trying to go out and sell yourself and learn more about them. So those are both two really good books that I really like.
Awesome. No, cool, brother. Thank you. Again, you are literally the first person I asked that in the podcast. So yeah, man, I'm super happy for.
Well, I'm good to kick it off.
No, great. Awesome, Jason. It's been really a pleasure to have you on today's episode, and yeah, man, let's keep in touch.
All right, it's great being here. Thank you for all the questions.
Cool, brother.